Good evening and welcome to You Are the Miracle podcast. I am Cheyenne Kramer and this is my self-proclaimed better half.
Self-proclaimed, you know it's true, Don Kramer, and we have a good special guest tonight.
We definitely do. We definitely do. You know that we're heavy on the trail of working towards trying to disrupt this horrible trend of suicide that's going on. And hopefully you've heard something by now about the event that we've got going on September 21st. Right underneath our names, there is a webpage, ignitethespark.co, that can give you all kinds of information about that event. And so tonight we are so honored to have with us our special guest who has been an incredibly important core member of the team putting together Ignite the Spark. Welcome, Mariama.
Hi everyone.
Good deal. Well, and Mariama also 2 years ago when we were in Raleigh working with the Young Entrepreneur Program, she stepped in when all of a sudden the partner we thought we had that was going to help us out kind of disappeared. And she stepped right in and took control and did some wonderful things for us then. So Mariama, you are just an amazing young lady, and we would love for you to share with people just a little bit about your background. You're definitely the youngest person I've ever met who is the founder of a nonprofit, and would love for you to share a little of that story. What led you to decide that you were going to create your own nonprofit? Uh-oh, lost the signal.
We're strong. It's her.
Yeah, it's her.
Hello.
Well, apparently Ms. Mariama must have lost a signal, but I am sure she'll be right back. She was doing fine until we went live. But Mariama Ba, just so you know, is the founder of a nonprofit called Nation of Diversity. And she is doing amazing things on her own as well as working with us. So we'll give her a moment or two. You've enjoyed working with her, right?
Oh, yeah, she's fantastic. Amazing young lady.
She is. She is. And, you know, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, here she comes. She's coming on back.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened to the connection.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
I don't know either, but you're back looking good.
And I was bad mouthing you.
No, he was not. He was.
I'll go see this.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's try this one more time. Would you please let people know a little bit about your background and what caused you at such a young age to decide that you wanted your own nonprofit?
It's a lot. There's a lot that has to do with the reason why I started my nonprofit. But one of the reasons, you guys will be surprised, but I wanted to do help homelessness since I was like 10. And yeah, one of the reasons why, well, living in Africa, I was born in Guinea, West Africa, Guinea Conakry. And so where we lived at, there was, you know, there's rich people, there's poor people, there's everyone living in the same sector, same area. But it was very visible, especially those who weren't able to, you know, provide for themselves and stuff. It was very visible. And for me, I remember some of my friends didn't have, you know, certain things that I had. My parents was here, so I always had and received everything that I wanted. They would always send me things. And so in the back of my head, I was like, is this just only happening in Guinea? Like, you know, there's rich, poor, and then there's poor, there's middle class. So when I moved here, finally with me and my brother in 2009, I realized that also homelessness was in America. It's not something that just, you know, within Guinea where I just thought in the little bubble that I was in. And so when I came here, and because they glorify America so much and I saw homelessness, I was so shocked. That was a cultural shock for me. And so, you know, And then living here and realizing my mom also had to have like 5 jobs in order to survive was something that really I was holding dear to my life, where I started, questioning and asking and volunteering to those experiencing homelessness. What was the, what is the reason? What is the cause of how to become, how people end up being homeless? And my mom was a prime example. So yeah, after 2009, we moved here, went to middle school, and then went to high school. As time went by, my mom every Friday she will make us go volunteer to the shelters to give out food and stuff, so that was engraved in my heart. So after that, I decided, I was like, I want to do something. I want to, instead of volunteering, every Friday, I want to do something about this. So I came up with Nation of Diversity when I was like 14, 15. I did a survey with my friends. I had 3 names. I was like, which name sounds good to you guys? And they all picked Nation of Diversity. And so slowly I started doing research. I started, just asking questions and being out in the community. And in 2021, it became a nonprofit. But there's 3 part of the nonprofit. The mission is reducing homelessness and raising awareness about mental health through creative arts. So the mental health part came in when I started college, and when I was, I'll say, high school going through college. I was dealing with my own anxieties and depressions, and I didn't know how to deal with certain things. And with an African background, my community, my parents, there's certain things that you just don't talk about. So I would just, come to my room, I would paint, I would sing, I would journal, I would just find any little things, DIYs that I could do that could really release certain things that I was feeling, and especially journaling. Um, so I decided to like put 2 and 2 together, art, mental health, and homelessness, all of these things that I've actually was going through, to make it as a thing, to make it as a community where I can actually help people and be able to make a difference, at least, if not for the whole world, at least for the people that I know and people that I can connect with. And so Nation of Diversity became Nation of Diversity.
Wow.
Cool. Really
Wow.
good. Very good.
I wish we could clone you. We need a whole country full of Mariamas.
That's true.
People who feel like they're ready to get up and just do something.
A good person with a good heart.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And she's a go-getter too. We've been amazed over and over again with, she'll go out there after the fundraising for her nonprofit. She's helped with what we're doing for Ignite the Spark. And she's not afraid to go after what she wants, because she's motivated.
Yeah. I learned at a young age, like, things, you have to go get what you want. Things is not going to come to you easily. And I think hearing a lot of stories, starting this as a young age and hearing different stories out there, it just made me realize, like, you gotta step up, you gotta do it, and things change is not gonna happen if you don't do anything about it. We could talk about it all we want, but each person is able to do something at least. So I try to keep that in my heart, and I try to let that motivate me as time goes by.
Absolutely, and you do. You stay pretty motivated. We're always excited when we get to work with you.
Thank you.
So tell people a little bit about some of the things that you've seen, because I know we're talking a lot about, when we're talking about suicide prevention. One of the sayings that was given to me many years ago was, the human brain is happiest when it's in a creation process. And that's one of the reasons why we're so big on helping more young people to get into entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship, doesn't matter whether you're talking about for-profit or nonprofit, it is the ultimate creation process. But tell us a little bit about some of the people that you've worked with, because I know you've done different kinds of art projects and different things where you've engaged people. How have you seen people be helped with things like that?
So I'll start off with my own story. The reason why I really decided to do the art. One, like I said earlier, in my room was a safe space for me to do what I wanted to do and be free and express how I wanted to feel. And so I also, during the time I was doing all of this, I also love to plan. So I was going through a lot of things during college. I had just started college, really depressed, didn't want to go to school, and a lot of trauma was coming back to me that I didn't know how to deal with. And I'm a people person, so I get my energy by talking to people and being around with people. So one day, something told me to like just do a paint and sip. Just do a paint and sip. I don't know who's gonna show up, but just do it with your friends. And so I, invited few of my friends, all the friends that I know. Few showed up. We went to the park, and I bought paints. I bought canvases, and so we're talking. We're just interacting, having fun, and I just blurted out like I was, because I wanted to know, am I the only one that was feeling like this, so I blurred out the fact that, disclaimer, that I was sexually assaulted, and that was something that I had kept to myself, that I didn't say anything to anyone, but because it was so much happening, I felt like I had to say something. And it was really amazing to me because right after that, like, three of my closest friends that I've known for a very long time, that we hung out all the time, talked about a lot of things, but not certain things, obviously, because I was surprised they actually went through that same issue. And so we like talked it out, we cried, and we're like, so for me, with that experience, it made me really realize, art is, a form of just like releasing, and not just like having something to do. Sometimes people like me, when I'm talking, I'm always moving. I want to do something with my body. And so I realized that actually a lot of them in the group, in my friends group, did things like that. They either painted, they either wrote a lot, journaled, singed, played music, a different expression that we had. And they were able to use that as a form of just releasing. If we're not able to talk to anybody else, we're able to at least keep that for ourselves. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna incorporate this idea into mental health and see how that takes me. So I decided to just try to incorporate homelessness and mental health with the art around the community. And so I have done a lot of art shops, workshops for artists to come in and express their feelings, express their journeys through art. And then one of my goals, I have done three of them, and now I want to do it as a program, is the Circle Speaks. I had the idea of the name, the Circle Speaks, when I realized art is a form of wellness. So I wanted, with the Circle Speaks, we did three events where those experiencing homelessness and anyone could come in this group and be able to express, and also at the same time talk about some of the things that has been um, stigmatized, which is homelessness. And there's a lot of stigma when it comes to homelessness. People is like, they're lazy, there's alcoholic, all of that, when in reality we don't really know. And in reality, especially these days, we are all on the verge to be homeless. And so having that two type of group, sitting together and talking, and being able to express and talk about our emotions as we create, for me, has been a very eye-opening, and it's just allow people to be in a safe space to just talk about whatever is going on. And so I'm looking to do the program again, October 25th, and we are incorporating different professional mental health side of the group, which we will have financial coaches, different wellnesses for people to come to the group and be able to also experience other things, but at the same time, talk about what's important, which is destigmatizing homelessness and mental health, and at the same time having fun, which is creating. So.
Absolutely. May I ask how old you are?
So I just hit 26.
Wow. Wow.
And yeah, and that is just so amazing to me because there's so many people with so much wisdom that they're not sharing with others. And it sounds like most of what you're doing has really come out of your personal experience. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, because see, so many people get caught up thinking they've got to have 14 certifications and 5 different degrees and all kinds of things before they can make a difference in the world. But I got to say, from what I've seen, that just ain't necessarily the truth.
You're
Yeah,
proven. You
I
are
I've
proven.
I've literally had, when I started my nonprofit, trying to get advices and stuff like that. I literally had people who said I was not qualified to talk about mental health. I was not qualified to talk about homelessness. There's a lot of, they look at me and they question, why am I here in the first place? And so, for me, I can only say lived experience. And I think lived experience is a huge thing because that's how we connect. That's how we humanize each other. Like you said, you can have 10 different degrees. I might go get one, I might not. But right now, I'm doing fine. I think I have learned so much by just hearing people's stories. And like I said earlier, it motivates me and it helps me, want to do better for myself and for other people in the community. I don't need a degree. So that's one of the reasons why I love the young entrepreneurship program, because there's a lot of stigma about the young adults, especially high schools and middle schools, to be able to follow their parents' footsteps. That's not the way. Everybody has a creativity inside of them, being able to explore that and find maybe a career or something that they could do with it. I really love that program. My mom really wanted me to be a nurse. Like when I was doing art, when I was in my room, I would lock my door and do art because they thought it was a waste of time. So I have to do something that brings money in my life. I understand, but when I'm created, I'm free. Like I'm really free, and I understand. I know that there's a lot of young adults, young youth that is dealing with the same thing. They're not able to express certain things how they feel because of their backgrounds and stuff. So yeah, programs like young entrepreneurship is amazing because we're creating a space for youth to come and create and explore themselves and find a career based on that. You can find a career to be a painter, to be a writer. It's out there. It doesn't make $1 billion like a doctor, but it's something.
Well, and because we are working together on suicide prevention now, that has always been one of my big concerns is that, especially with young people, if you shut them down really early on with whatever they're feeling here that they want to do, in my experience, that becomes a core piece that can cause a depression and, eventually headed down a path that could become self-destructive. Have you seen any of that in your time?
Um, yes, I have youth that aren't able to, express themselves, become depressed because, like you're saying, like your brain, you become extra happy with your brain being able to move and actually do what your soul is craving for, and what your soul is craving for is creativity. That's what we are all here for, not to work and be a slave. Sorry. Um, yes,
I
and
get
also,
it.
Yep.
also with the homeless, like those experiencing homelessness, there's a lot of them that are able to, they're surviving because of the creativity that they have in them. They're able to sit and express and paint and sing and do whatever, but it's keeping them alive and it's keeping them going and keep giving them hope. So yeah, it's just,
Wow.
yeah, it's
I love it. Well, and it looks like our good friend Dory is watching you today, and she's saying, "Preach, girl."
thank you.
She can preach.
She certainly can.
She
She
has
certainly
amazing
can.
story.
So we're all working really hard putting this program together to disrupt this trend of suicide that's going on, especially with our young people. I keep repeating because it's just so, I can't even begin to imagine, how did we as a society get to a place where suicide is the second leading cause of death of our 10 to 18-year-olds? That is just horrifying to me.
Scary.
It's not necessary. And, everything that we're putting together in this event on September 21st is really designed to give people different tools, different ideas, and different things to think about, where we don't have to get caught up in this suicide ideation path. And I'm curious because part of the event that I know that you're going to want to talk to folks about some of the artistic kinds of things that you do to help people to be able to open up and express themselves. I mean, oh my God, that must have blown your mind when you suddenly blurted out about this traumatic experience that you had, and all of a sudden find out that some of your closest friends had the same thing. But what a release that must have been, because you guys were holding that in for so long. And
Yeah.
we try to help people understand that our emotions, when they're held in like that, that's what creates stress in our bodies. And the last I knew, the medical community said that stress was the number one cause of illness, but they still don't treat the emotions the way that they need to be treated. So I'm thrilled that you're out here doing your own thing. You're using your experiences. I grew up in an apprenticeship program in manufacturing. And so I learned manufacturing hands-on through experiences. And I believe that is one of the most valuable ways that we can all learn and share with people, is through that hands-on, find out what kind of results you get for yourself, and then being able to take that forward and tell other people about it. I mean, that's what the whole wellness experience part of our suicide prevention event is about. We're inviting people to come in and meet with 20 different people who have tools, and Dory's one of them. They have tools that can help reduce stress, help reduce anxiety, help to, get people feeling more joyful again, and helping people to be able to find that core within their heart that wants to be expressed, because I think we all need to find ways to build our income around that.
Mm-hmm.
That will save more lives than anything else I know of, because I've lost 3 close friends to suicide, and at least 2 of them I know were feeling there were things that they felt here they wanted to do career-wise, but didn't feel like society was giving them permission to do it. And that's just not right. To me, that's like, okay, so who are we to tell people that they can't follow their heart in terms of what they do with their life path and their career?
We don't have that right.
We
Period.
We definitely don't. So I'm grateful that you're doing the things you're doing. And curious, do you have some kind of a big vision about where you'd really like to take Nation of Diversity?
Oh, well, here we go.
If you had a closet full of money and it was never going to run out, what would you be doing?
Oh my gosh. I have like 100 million ideas where I see Nation of Diversity. One of them, the first major one is tiny homes. I want to do pretty much a homeless wellness tiny home where people could come and live in this place, in this community, tiny home community, and be able to get all the resources that they want. Education if that's needed. Firstly, housing. First thing first is housing first, and then mental health resources, educations, jobs, being able to direct them in other places, and go be able to have their own homes. That those experiencing homelessness can have their own homes and be able to sustain themselves. With the art program, I will love right now. This is actually someone else's idea, and they put it in my head, and I keep entertaining it. And they said that with the Circle Speaks that I have, to do a college tour where I can bring it in within the college and allow young adults to express themselves, and at the same time, talk about these and have like art therapy in the colleges and start touring for it. I was like, I like this. So I'm gonna add this to one of my goals.
There you go. Yes.
I love it. That's exactly the kinds of stuff we love. I still think you need to find a way to get yourself some kind of a conversion van or something and hit the road with us.
There you go.
Right?
Okay.
I would
Folks,
love that.
you've heard this young lady, how amazing she is. What are you sitting on your hands for? Come join us.
I would
Right?
love to. I really would. And one of the other goal is because this honestly was engraved in me when I was a kid from back home. So I want to go back. I want to build a school in Guinea. I want to build a creative school though, instead of a regular school. But it will be a creative art school where they could do fashion, paint, do film, and be able to express this side of them and show the beauty of Africa. To be honest, that's what I really want to do that. And so yeah, I'm hoping one day all of that becomes something.
I love it. How many adults, when we ask them that question, how many of them can answer like that? Most of them cannot.
Most of them cannot answer
at all.
Period.
Really?
You're so far ahead of the game. That's what I'm saying, folks. Listen to this young lady. We are so happy to be working with her. Why don't you come join us?
I will
get to know this young lady.
I'm gonna pack my bag soon, and next thing you know, I'm somewhere in your closet. Okay.
You're welcome.
I love it. I love it. Well, that's the thing, is the reason we do this podcast is because we want people to know that we all were born with gifts that we should be sharing with the world. And, the whole idea of you are the miracle is the idea that if you're on this planet right now, you are a miracle. You have gifts to give to everybody.
Purpose.
And we don't want people continuing to sit in the bleachers. We want you off the bleachers and onto the playing field, because this young lady has proven you don't have to, wait until you're 50 to have a nonprofit. You don't have to go and get a bunch of certifications to make a difference. You just need to have a heart and some experiences that you can share from the heart. And that's what we're all about. Yes, there are times, and I'm going to, just because somebody will have something to say, there are times when we need to refer people to professionals. We know that, the mental health community works very hard, and we understand that. We're here to say, but let us create wraparound services, wraparound things that become complementary, adjunct kinds of things that can help people to be able to do and be who they were designed to be. Because the intelligence that made the body, mind, and soul has the ability to heal the body, mind, and soul. And all of these things are possible. So we invite people to go to ignitethespark.co and at least sign up for our live stream for that day. There will be 2 hours of live stream with people who have been touched by suicide. You'll hear how they have moved forward with their lives. They found new path, oftentimes path that has purpose. And it's all a very beautiful thing. But I bet Don's got a final question for you, Mariama.
Yeah. Oh, are you ready?
What is it?
Don't stop smiling, please. How can everybody get hold of you? I mean, everybody. People want to get hold of you. I just know it.
So to get a hold of me, we have a website. It's called www.nodnow.org. Nodyourheadnow.org. Nodnow.org. And then everywhere on social media is at Nation of Diversity. At Nation of Diversity. And you can call me and text me. My number is 919-349-1312. I'm always here to answer. If you in crisis, you want to talk to somebody, rent to, I'm here. So call me if you can. 919-349-1312.
Wow. Awesome. Well, and Dory made a comment. She's on LinkedIn today and says, I could see a college tour. Get that conversion van ready.
All right.
I would love it. Yes, I should start fundraising for that.
Well, and the thing is, I know you go out there and you work hard on the fundraising side. So who knows? You can find a sponsor that can make all of that possible. And we would be most honored to be touring the countryside with you, girl.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You guys know the best places around the world. So once I'm ready, I'll hit you guys.
Well, we've gotten pretty good on the eastern half of the country. We might go west sometime along. We just haven't quite got there yet.
We're going to go a little further west than we've been.
No,
we've been out to Texas.
We have been to Texas. That's about as far west as we've been. But it has been such a joy to have you with us, Mariama, and continue to be that light, shine that light for people, show them the way that we can all be making a difference in the world. And we look forward to continuing to work with you. September 21st is coming up fast. And, if people have questions, they can reach out to us through ignitethespark.co. You can find us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and just connect with us. And we will be happy to assist in any way that we can. Do you have any final thought, Miss Mariama, you'd like to share?
I'm just gonna share, be you. Okay, people's gonna want to stop you out there. Be you, and if find a purpose that makes you happy, that makes your heart happy, and keep doing that. And don't let people opinions stop you. There's a lot of opinions out there, so that's I'm gonna keep that. Okay. I'll tell that to people and keep telling that to myself.
Awesome.
Right. Well, thank you guys for allowing me to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. And thanks everybody for stopping by, whether you were here with us live or whether you watched the recording. We appreciate it. And if you like what we're talking about, if you appreciate our very amazing young friend Mariama for the work she's doing, please like this, please comment on it. Please share it with other people and let other people know about Ignite the Spark. Because suicide is something that needs to be disrupted, and we're out here to do it. But we can only do it when we all work together, because you also are the miracle that we're looking for. So have an awesome week, everybody, and keep in touch. We'll see y'all.
Love y'all.
Take care. Bye-bye.